when we say that we voted for a closed border system, that's what we wanted.
That's what it was supposed to be. That's what we all thought.
Yeah, that's what I voted for.
We voted for mass deportations. There's no mass deportation, by the way.
Well, yes, you're not wrong. They're getting rid of the most egregious individuals.
But they're not. 52% of people that have been arrested are not criminal offenders.
And some of them are like really cute.
They're going after just whatever they can consider low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're a criminal offender or not. Their narrative is that they're getting all these criminals. 52% of people that they've arrested with these mass raids and these ICE raids
Have no criminal record.
have no criminal record.
Yeah.
Okay, then who are we going after? How are we choosing?
Maybe they're just collateral damage, dude.
And they're picking up, I think, like average of 300 to 400 people a day, which is nothing.
Can I correct the record?
It's not any. He's not arresting any more than Biden was at the end of his term.
So let me correct the record. We are both correct when we say they don't have a criminal record. But they are illegal, so
Correct.
they've broken the law. So some would say,
Okay.
you don't have a criminal record, fair enough. You've been here for 8 years, fair enough. However, you still had 8 years to register and become legal, and you didn't.
Well, a lot of people, once you start the process is so long and so slow that even if they started the process 10 years ago, they could have made zero progress.
Fair enough. But
So let me ask you one question. Is there a difference in an illegal alien that just ran across the border in a caravan in the last year with no job, just takes money, versus an illegal alien that's been here 15 years, has a job, and actually pays taxes? Is there a difference?
yes,
But to ICE, as we stand right now, there is no difference because 52% of those people are the latter.
yes.
And we have almost zero history of catching any of these people that came in the caravans in the last 3 years. So we're targeting the people that are here illegally, but are contributing to society. Some have criminal records. They need to go. 52% of them have no criminal record, and they literally work and pay into the system. And they pay into the system, and because they're illegal, they don't get to take from the system. Are they the same? Because if one argues, no, they're here illegally, illegal is illegal, I don't care, then I understand, doesn't matter, just take them all.
Yeah.
If you're in the camp, well, no, there's actually a difference between the two, then why are you going after the people that have been here for a long time paying their taxes?
Fair enough. So it's, yeah. So
Which is not easy. It's actually a really controversial topic.
it is a controversial topic, and I'm just going to pin you to the wall. What do you? What's your stance? I'll give you mine.
Okay.
The simple answer is, it's going to sound terse, is if you're illegal, you're illegal. Like, you cannot claim ignorance. Dude, you cannot claim ignorance. If you can't say, well, Peter, the application process takes 5 to 10 years. Then you should have started 10 years ago.
But a lot have.
I don't give a fuck. If you can't come to me with with knowledge of the process and you still didn't do it, well, then you're even worse off. You had years to do this. And so it might sound terse. It might sound, Peter, you're not being loving. You have broken the law. If you had time to rectify that, let bygones be bygones. Water under the bridge. You were here. It took you 3 years to finally establish yourself. Good on you, mate. Then you realized it was going to take you 5 to 10 years to become legal, and you said, you know what, I want to do it the right thing. So you started 7 years ago, and then you completed the process. Good on you, mate. You did the right thing. But if you know what the process is, and you know your current status as being illegal, which means that there's the potential risk, you've exposed yourself to risk, that you could be found out by ICE or ratted on by your Karen neighbor. Someday your life could be changed. You have chosen daily to make the cognitive decision that you will not do the right thing, even though you know it's the right thing to do. So I say illegal is as illegal does. If you're illegal, sorry you got caught up in the fray. Sorry that for that lady who was on the news who looks like she's 300 pounds and saying, oh, they're going to take I've been here for like 15. Like, bitch, you had 15 years? I have no sympathy for you. Sympathy for you.
If we go with the official number, which is there are 12 million illegal immigrants in this country. And if you go to the Trump number, which says there are 30 million.
I think he's probably closer to the truth, though.
I think it's just lower. If it is anywhere in between, but we will only remove approximately 1 to 1.5 million people in the next 4 years.
Then we have done nothing.
Well, we're not going to do anything. But if that's the number that's the goal to hit, 1.5 million people over 4 years, because that's like the realistic number at this point.
Yeah.
Then shouldn't we focus on the criminals and the people that are negative to society, and maybe allow the people that have shown that they're contributing to society by actually taking the jobs that no one wants to do?
Of course.
They are working the agricultural jobs in middle America that nobody wants to do. They're taking up the dishwashing jobs they're having a really hard time filling.
Sure.
They're taking the jobs here in Georgia. They're taking the chicken farm jobs, feeding the chickens.
Construction jobs, yeah.
Construction jobs. These are jobs that if you didn't have them.
Yeah, service jobs, like maids, yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't have those people filling those jobs, there's a huge gap in society. And those people are paying taxes into the system and taking very little benefit out. My argument is that possibly we should focus on the criminals, and if there's room and capacity, deal with them last.
I don't disagree with you. We should always focus on the bad of society to remove them from society. Peaceful stop. However, if you have chosen cognitively day after day to choose the wrong thing and you become collateral damage, sorry, Sar, I have very little sympathy for you. You chose to live a life of sin. Let's go to the Christian words. You've chosen every single day to live a life that is not a life of integrity. What does integrity mean? Internal and external consistency. What you say you are is what you do. What you promise you say you're going to do, you do. That is internal integrity. And so for me, I don't disagree with anything you've said. Focus on the baddies. Get rid of the baddies. But if you're caught up in the collateral damage of collecting the baddies, I have very little sympathy for you. I mean, I lived in Japan, I lived in Korea, I lived in India. Whenever I would live in these other countries, I didn't want to assimilate myself quickly, but I made sure that I was a good American. I represented America well. I was respectful. I respected the cultures. I respected the traditions. And when I was in Korea, for example, I went and got my Korean driver's license so that I could ride my motorcycle, right? So I could drive cars there.
He delivered Chinese food, by the way.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I look cute on that bike. Anyway, the point is I did all the requisite requirements so that I could live freely and effectively as a productive member of South Korea society when I lived there, just as an example. So was it painful for me to get my license in the beginning when my Korean sucked ass and they didn't have updated American documents? Yes. Was it frustrating to try to figure out how to get it all done? Yes. But I did the right things, Matt. And I will always live by doing the right thing. And so you might say, well, Peter, you don't understand the context. This illegal been here 12 years and they got 3 boys and they're all like, I don't care. You have lack of integrity. Internal consistency is lacking. Collateral damage is part of the risk exposure that you've chosen. You probably haven't ever used those words before, but you created a risk exposure for yourself, and now you're paying the piper.
Okay, let me throw another premise out there for you. You said that if you are arresting people that have done crime, and as part of that, you get caught up as collateral damage.
Yeah,
it's fair. Okay, I can accept and understand that premise. But there's also a situation, because they're not hitting the numbers that they're supposed to hit, that they go after businesses that historically hire a lot of illegal immigrants. And they're just taking out the workforce.
Good.
They are not the same as collateral damage. This is targeted damage.
Fine. Good. Do it.
That's okay.
Do it. Do it. The hole will be filled. If we truly live in a capitalist economy where opportunities are ripe, then those who are the sophisticated will see, ooh, my competitors just got taken out by a random phone call because 80% of his workforce are illegals. Smart deal. There's now a void in that market. The right sophisticated entrepreneur and operator will look at that and say, excellent opportunity for expansion. I have a very low empathy threshold for these types of conversations. I think you've seen my video how I've been affected by illegals. Like my family, it just for short story, my family with video was almost killed by an illegal immigrant in a brand new GLA 250 who T-boned us on Buford Highway. Like that radicalized me. That was the radicalization. When I talked to that police officer with receipts, you can see the video online. The police officer was like, all right, we can't do shit. I cannot believe this. My life was almost ended because of this. And we're going to just let them roll? I'm done with that shit, man. I'm done with that shit. If you're illegal, get out of here. Right? Get out of here. Am I wrong in that?
I mean, I think
this
arguments
is my opinion.
are had. Yeah, I think arguments are had for all sides. Because the only problem that I have is that if you allow the targeting of certain businesses to remove their workforce, it can be easily weaponized.
It will be weaponized, man.
And it's always the same people that benefit from the weaponization of government. We're just giving the people that have too much power more power. We're giving the tech oligarchs or the business oligarchs that already have so much power more power. And if it means that by fighting against that, even though that I may agree with some of their methods, I would rather take them down than the few illegal immigrants that work in a factory somewhere that aren't hurting anybody. They don't affect me. These guys affect me.
I see your argument, but I would ask you, Matt, to not conjecture a thesis in the future. You don't know if they're going to truly benefit. Is there a high chance that they will? That the the tech oligarchs and the Walmarts are going to consume? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, if the 52% of the people that are non-criminals are the ones being arrested, and they are targeting certain businesses to help take their workforce, I'm like, how did they get the call to go after that business when there's so many businesses?
Because you're right. Because it's been weaponized.
Who chose that? Who decided that competitor of this guy is who we're going to take out?
I'll give you the answer. It goes like this.
I bet you it's a donor.
I'll give you is something aligned to this. The scenario looks like this. I'm deeply political, Matt. I'm deeply political, and I like this Trump guy. And I like what they're doing with his illegal immigration. I own a Lowe's. And you know what? I know that my competitor, the Home Depot just down the street, is employing 60 to 80% illegals. I have a guy that's connected to a guy that's connected to another guy in ICE. And he's my good buddy, Jim. He works at the sheriff's department. Let me just have a lunch with Jim. And I have a lunch with Jim. And he tells me, yeah, man, I know a guy. What do you got? And I say, well, I can't be attached to this, but man, you know I work at Lowe's. My competitor's over at Home Depot. Can you put in a good word? That's all. Can you put in a good word? That's how it happens. And you might say, well, Peter, you just opened up the door for weaponization. Yes, it's going to happen. And that business, and I am going to benefit greatly from the destruction of my competitor, the Home Depot, just down the road. But guess what? Guess what, Matt? That void will be filled.
And I am so sick of the weaponization of government and government agencies to go after targets and people, because everyone was so mad. Oh, you know, the government, they weaponized the government to go after Trump, and it's not fair. Okay, then you need to stop the process. You need to stop the process, not use it also.
Yes.
Because all you're doing is creating this cycle where you do it to me, I do it to you, you do it to me, I do it to you. In the crossfire, we, the people, are the ones that get stuck in the crossfire, that get harmed in the crossfire, that lose our money in the crossfire, that lose our health, that lose our societies, lose our communities in the crossfire. We're stuck in their war. And at some point, someone needs to stop that shit. Because if your response to the weaponization of government to you is to weaponize the government against them, then as soon as there's opportunity, they will do it back. And you will do it again. And you will do it back. And it's just corruption. Every time you attack the other side, the methods get stronger and bigger and more corrupt.
Yes, you're not wrong.
Meaning we're building corruption. And by us saying, no, well, they did it to us, so we should do it too. By us doing that, it's just making it exponentially worse every single time.
And we're no better.
No better.
Yeah.
At some point, the cycle has to stop. If the cycle doesn't stop, then we will forever, we're on the brink of collapse society because there is no way that model is sustainable. Thanks for watching the clip. If you want to see the full episode, click here. If you want to see more clips, click here.